Everyday English listening.
Topic 1. Favorite celebrities.
Hey, let's talk about some like celebrities you like or someone you know.
Oh,
So,
yeah. My favorite singer is Taylor Swift.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Why do you like Taylor Swift?
I like her songs, but mainly I like her look. You know, that red lips and white skin and blonde hair. It's kind of typical American
Albino.
woman. Yeah. So when I saw her for the first time, I was like, wow, she's gorgeous.
Wait, do you mean you went to you saw her picture on the internet in the news, or you saw her in concert?
No, I think it was on YouTube. Again,
Oh,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
She was at that time. She was still singing like country music, but I thought she's amazing.
I have an interesting fact about her, actually.
What?
So apparently, she's from right outside of my hometown.
Oh, wow.
Actually, yeah. That's where she was born, and then she went, was doing music around there first.
Yeah.
And then she got kind of big somehow. I don't know how, but I'm not really interested in her.
Okay.
She's cute, but like I don't really like her music. But yeah, that's where she got started, somewhere by my hometown.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, the typical woman figure, girly style and nice skin, and her movement and her songs is like the girl, or
That's
the
true.
American girl. So yeah, that's why I like her.
Okay.
How about you?
I have a lot of bands that I like, but I recently saw this movie that I really liked. Do you know the actor Edward Norton?
No.
No?
What's...
He's getting really popular. He's been popular for a while. He does all different types of movies, like crime dramas, like action thrillers, science fiction. He's very, how would you say, he can do many different types of roles.
Right.
So I recently saw, it's an old movie of his, but it's called Fight Club. It's him and Brad Pitt. Have you heard of it?
Maybe.
Fight Club? Yeah.
I think I've seen it. I don't really remember.
It's old. It's from like it's like 1998, 1999, but it's still a really good film. I think. But yeah, I think if I was to talk about a celebrity that I liked, definitely Edward Norton. He's pretty, I don't know, his acting is really good, I think.
Okay. Is he English or is he American? Or
he's
is he from?
He's from the U.S., yeah, he's American for sure. Yeah, what about you? Do you have any actors or actresses you like?
Yes, my favorite actor is... Oh gosh, I can't remember his name.
Oh,
the
maybe I
guy
can help you.
from Notting Hill, the guy from the Love Actually.
Oh, he's that British guy.
The British guy with the the eyes kind of.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yes, that's the guy. Yeah, I like him.
Why? Can I ask? I mean, he's kind of like a romantic comedy star, but why do you like his acting?
I don't know. He looks sweet.
Okay, so
unlike
he looks
unlike Brad Pitt or other male celebrities, he's not like super handsome. He looks kind of ordinary guy, and kind of makes me feel like nice. And the closer, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's true. I've actually I don't think I've ever seen a movie with him in it.
No?
No, I'm just not like I mean, you said he's in Love Actually. He's like a romantic comedy guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. I like,
romantic comedies.
comedies.
Oh, really? What's your favorite romantic comedy?
I can't think of anything now. Probably romantic. Yeah, Love Actually. Okay, I can't think of anything now.
No
but
problem.
how about you?
How about me? What?
Do you like romantic comedies?
No. Not really. But there is one that I do like. It's called My Best Friend's Wedding.
Okay.
I believe Julia Roberts is in that one.
Yeah.
Do you know who she is?
Yeah, she's famous. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of that's like a 90s classic romantic comedy, I think. Have you seen it?
I think I have.
Okay.
But I think so.
Topic 2. Movie take.
Okay, so let's talk about movies.
Okay.
What kind of movie do you like?
Well, my favorite genres are actually, let's see, Science fiction, sci-fi, and horror.
Horror.
Yeah.
What was the last movie you watched? Do you remember?
The last movie I watched was a science fiction. It was called The Shape of Water.
Okay. Never heard, never seen. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you a little about it if you want to hear.
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
please
so
do.
it's actually a love story about a janitor and a merman.
Okay.
A merman, like
Mermaid,
yeah, merman. So it's actually, I don't want to give away too much of the story, but so this janitor is working at this kind of like this underground government facility, and she cleans the floors next to this giant fish tank. And she never knows actually what's inside, but one day, this merman comes up to the glass, and she sees him, and she instantly falls in love. But the beautiful part is that he can't speak. He can't speak English, right? But the beautiful part is she's actually deaf, and she can't hear.
Right.
So this like beautiful, amazing relationship kind of blossoms from them. She teaches him sign language, and it's unbelievable.
It's like a modern version of Romeo and Juliet, yeah? Kinda.
Maybe. I mean, it's not like they weren't star-crossed lovers per se.
Okay.
No, it's definitely an interesting love story. Yeah, that's the last movie I saw recently.
And what about horror movies?
I actually like this movie called It. It's based on a book written by this horror author Stephen King. Maybe you've heard of Stephen King.
Yes,
he's a super famous
writer,
author, right? So yeah, this is actually a story about like it's kind of a sci-fi horror mix. So it's like, of course, it's one of my favorites. And it's about this like alien that comes to this town and takes a form as a clown, an evil clown, every 65 years.
Yes.
And because he wakes up from his deep sleep and he's hungry because he needs to eat. So he takes his form as a clown and like kind of terrorizes this town every 65 years. So the movie takes place in the I think it's the 1970s.
Okay.
And so that's the time when the monster wakes up. This like kind of group of kids starts figuring it out, what's happening in our town, and it's kind of a coming of age tale in a horror movie.
Right.
I don't know, it's really interesting. I hope I didn't ruin it. I'm not going to tell you the ending, of course.
Okay.
But,
I'm not a big fan of horror movies. It makes me kind of, not to go to toilet or not to go to
All right.
Topic 3. Tips for learning on TV.
So, Hannah, you just told me that one way to help with listening and practicing and understanding idioms is through American television dramas, right? So TV shows, yeah. So while you were learning English, what are some shows you watch? Something I want to tell my students they can watch.
My favorite all time is the TV drama called Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it before?
Friends is super popular in the U.S. Yeah,
it is. Yes, I just love. I mean, first of all, I just love the story.
Okay.
Other than just learning English is kind of second purpose. Yes. So, there was a Italian. Well, there's a character who's Playboy. And he used to say, like, how you doing, yeah?
Right.
And it's interesting is, first I watched the drama with my first language subtitled.
Right. Okay, so you're watching in English with your language in the subtitles?
Yes.
Okay.
So that I can understand the sort of the concept first.
Right.
And then gradually I changed to English subtitles. But,
okay. That's a great idea. So first, to understand the meaning of what's being said, subtitles.
Yep.
Then to maybe watch it again a second time or even a third time to understand exactly how the English is used in context of the show.
True, yeah.
That's a great strategy. So
in that way, you can enjoy just watching the movies or dramas, and that way you can spend a lot more time rather than just, trying to study English.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more a way to enjoy learning English and studying.
Mm.
So actually, you said Friends, right?
Yeah.
So I think Friends is on. It's so popular, right? It's all over the internet. I believe it's on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube and Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix. So one thing that's great about YouTube, I think, is that they have a closed captioning or a subtitling option. So if you can't exactly catch what they're saying while you're listening the first time, you can put the subtitles on, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And there are so many websites that shows all the transcripts of
That's true. You can read the scripts from the show to help with to follow along as well. That's great. So you said you watch Friends, right?
I do.
Are there any others that you've heard of? So Friends, I know is popular. Many people know Friends.
Full House.
Full House. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You know, they recently did a revamp, like a newer version of it.
I haven't seen it yet, but it's good.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
But you recommend either Friends or Full House?
There's one of my friends, he liked a drama called Prison Break.
Oh, that's on Netflix as well. Yeah, I have.
And he watched like 60 hours or more than that. And I asked him, it's like, how's it going? And it's good. He could understand without subtitles, and which is good. And so I asked him, it's like, so you can speak English now? Yeah? Can you use those phrases from the drama? And he said, actually not. But I said, why? It's because the words that they use from the drama, there's like bombing or escaping or something. It's not daily life conversation. So that way, Friends or Full House, that people.
That's
in
daily
life,
English. Yeah, daily life English. Okay, so you recommend.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. I think my students would love to watch that kind of drama and learn daily, actual phrases you can use. Thanks so much for the tips. Thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Topic 4. Tips for learning English.
So, Hannah, I'm currently teaching English as a second language, and I love for my students to get confident in producing English or increasing their listening ability.
Yes.
So I know that you speak English as a second language, but you do such an amazing job, and it's inspiring to me. So I love my students to improve and so because you're a perfect example, what are some strategies you have for my students I could tell them?
Right. Firstly, I worked on listening, and there's so many websites that are designed for English learners.
Right.
Like Hello here, you are listening to.
Yeah.
And YouTube or any, so many sites that you can check on, and like that. I'll probably start with the listening first.
Okay. So you said firstly listening. So why is listening so important?
It's because when you want to communicate, of course, the English as a tool, communication tool, you have to understand what the speakers say. So first I worked on listening, and then by listening at the audio or the sound, then you can learn vocab and also spelling, and the meaning, of course. And eventually you can move on to next English skill. So that's why I start working on listening first.
So what about anything else that you have? Any other strategies?
Personally, I found it learning vocab, and especially idioms, helped me a lot.
Yeah, idioms are tough.
Yes, because often I found it difficult to understand what the speakers say. I could hear or I could understand what the single words they say, but sometimes it was hard to sort of grasp the meaning, what they're actually saying. So learning idioms or vocab helped me a lot. Yeah.
So when you learn the idioms and you can understand them, did you ever use them yourself? To when you tried it out in the wild, so to speak, using the idioms you learned to
yes, I did it gradually. I mean, when I was in high school, I started studying English when I was high school. First thing I did was to visiting those websites that are designed for English speakers, English learners, and at the same time I start watching American TV dramas. And in that sense, you can sort of understand in what situation you can use those particular phrases or idioms. And by learning the idioms and vocab and the settings or the environment, the situation you can use, then you can sort of actually try to use them. At the same, the beginning I was so nervous.
Right. I'm sure, yeah. I mean, it's really difficult to use idioms in any language, but English has so many, I think. So another thing I wanted to ask you about production skills in English is writing. So I try to give my students opportunities to write in class, but in order to be a proficient and excellent English speaker, you need to practice outside of class. So what do you recommend to improve students' writing abilities besides just taking it for a test or for an assignment? What do you recommend?
Yes, this is very difficult. I myself have trouble still writing because I'm not a good writer in my native language.
Oh no!
But I guess just reading will help you at the start. Reading text.
Okay, so if you know how to read, you can help you write.
Yes,
right.
Definitely. To learn sort of the templates, how the things goes and how you make paragraph and stuff. So probably if you want to get better at writing, I would start reading first. Reading lots of passages, different kinds of materials first.
So so that's true, and I agree with that. And so one thing I wanted to have my students do is actually do like a journal, actually.
Yes.
So did you ever keep an English journal to help with your writing?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
How do you feel that helped you? Was that good? A good
yes,
idea?
Because first when you write, unlike speaking or talking to somebody, it gives you time to really think about what you want to do, what you want to write, and you can focus on grammar more, and that helps you to actually talk to somebody maybe next day, or you have to write something else in the class that would help you. So keeping the journal will help you definitely, I think.
Okay, thank you very much for the tips. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Topic 5. The music industry.
All right, so Ben, what do you think about music industry recently?
Recently, actually, I don't really listen to the radio, so I'm not really sure about popular music. But one thing I do is I read a lot about music news. So one thing I've been noticing is with all of these new programs and websites like iTunes, Spotify, the free music,
like YouTube,
YouTube as well. Like sometimes musicians, no one buys CDs anymore.
No.
Right? When was the last time you bought a CD? Do you remember?
I don't even remember. Probably like 10 years ago.
Right. So like with the internet and the increase of everyone having high-speed internet all around the world, I think the industry is changing a lot, especially for musicians and how they get paid. Yeah. So it's interesting in that kind of way. But I think it's a little I think we need to change how we pay musicians because people can't make money anymore. Used to sell CDs and receive a profit from that, but now people are on YouTube downloading music illegally.
Yes.
Do you remember those programs that people what were they called? Like they're like peer-to-peer downloading software programs. Like I think one of them was called Napster. It was one of the biggest.
Was it?
Yeah, okay. It was huge. So you would download this. I remember it was about 15 years ago. You would download the program onto your computer and you'd search for something. Let's say Madonna, which was actually my first song that I ever downloaded illegally was Madonna because I liked her when I was a kid.
Okay.
Before my punk days.
Right.
And so you type in the name of the artist you want to listen to, and you and all these songs come up that people have placed on the internet. Right. And you can download that and you can keep it and listen to it as many times as you want for free.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay Madonna anything.
No.
Right? So in that way, I think the music industry has changed a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. Probably bad.
You think?
For artists, I think it's not good.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not as popular. So if they do not have a very big record deal,
Yeah.
how are they going to get profit? If there's someone like less popular, someone independent artists, like the lower level, not so popular artists, they don't make money.
No.
Yeah,
But I think recently, I think it's a good thing that people sort of can find non-famous singers on YouTube or on internet. I listen to radio, and while I drive, I listen to radio often, and I also listen to music on YouTube. And the other day, accidentally, I found maybe it's not even singer, it's just an ordinary person singing somebody's song. I thought he is great, and I start listening to his songs, and I subscribe his channel, and in that way, famous people can become famous, and they can make money, and sort of in that sense, YouTube or those internet websites or apps kind of gave them opportunity.
That's true. So I think I totally agree with you, and I think that in that way, that's, I guess, YouTube and the internet has helped lesser known artists become exposed,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So there's exposure with YouTube, right? So there's all these view count, right? So, and you can suggest a YouTube video to a friend, you can share it on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
So definitely in that way, YouTube has totally changed. Have you heard the term go viral? Have you heard that before?
What does that mean?
So go viral means that a video that's put on YouTube gets a lot of hits, a lot of views very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So it gets seen by a lot of people. So viral, like a virus, right? It spreads through the internet.
Okay.
So there are some unknown artists that started out with just a YouTube video.
Oh.
And that video went viral, right? It received many views, many people saw it. And now they are popular musicians that people know about.
Right, like Justin Bieber, yeah?
You know what? I think you're right. Didn't his parents put him on YouTube when he was a kid?
I guess so, yeah.
I think
that's
something
how
right. So
he started, yeah.
So in that way you can become
A pop star.
a pop star,
Yeah.
right? Just from posting a YouTube video that gets seen.
Right.
Topic 6. High school band.
So, I've heard that you were in a band when you were a high school kid.
Yeah, actually, I was. All 4 years I was in high school. I was in actually in a few bands, but I was in one pretty early on when I was a kid. Yeah, me and 4 of my friends.
All right. So, did you have a name for your band or bands?
Yeah. Well, kind of, I guess the serious band I was in, we were called Lucky Number 2. I know it sounds stupid, and I thought it did too, actually. But I came into the band. I was asked to join.
Okay.
I didn't start it.
Right.
They said, "Hey, we need a bass player. Do you play bass?" And I said, "Yeah, I do. I play bass. Why?" And they said, "Well, we need a bass player. So can you come and try out, audition?" And I did. And I said, "Oh, hey, what's the band name?" And they're like, Lucky Number 2. I was like, oh, wow, so lame. But I wanted to play music, so I just went along with it and said, yeah, sure.
Right. So why did they name the band Lucky Number 2?
You know what?
The reason?
I don't think there was a reason. I think they at one point when they were thinking about what to do, they couldn't decide on something, so they just decided something and just went with it. They said, okay, we're going to decide this and we're going to do it. So I don't know, Lucky Number 2. Yeah.
Right. So what kind of music did you used to play?
So it was like punk music.
Okay.
So yeah, and which actually at the time was not very popular among young people in my town. So
I mean, I'm not really big fan of music. I don't really know anything about music. So what's punk music like?
What's punk music
Yeah.
like? Well, our band was like, so we had 2 guitar players, a bass player, and a drummer. And one of the guitar players sang too. So punk music is fast. It's
Right.
fast, and the drums are also fast, and the vocals are usually kind of yelling or screaming in a way. And not always, but sometimes bands are political, right?
Right.
So they,
Political.
like, we had a political, I don't know how you would say, but like, we, at that time it was 2008
Yeah.
and, or 2000, sorry, that's wrong, 2004. And, yeah, President Bush was, you know, George Bush was the
Yeah.
president.
Yes.
And, you know, we didn't like him. We were kind of on the other side. And, so a lot of our songs were kind of politically driven. So
Right.
our lyrics
So
were
kind of
about like
criticizing or
like anti-president lyrics, like that. I don't know. It's kind of funny because one of our songs actually, because you know the American flag is red, white, and blue, the
Yes.
colors. So one of our songs was called Red, White, Black, and Blue, like a
Oh.
bruise. Like, and so it's kind of, I don't know. We were angsty and like it was, I don't know. That's how I would describe punk music at that time.
Right.
Fast, politically driven lyrics
Okay.
and screaming vocals.
Oh, sorry to ask about, you know, sorry to ask stupid questions, but
No, go
So
ahead.
the guitar that
Yeah.
you used to use, it's that one that sort of connect to the amplifiers. yeah?
Yes,
Not
it-
like acoustic guitar.
No. Everyone played electric, loud
Okay.
music. Yeah.
Loud music.
Yeah, very loud guitars.
Okay. Why do you or why did you like punk music?
Well, I don't know. I was a high school student and I was angry about life and my parents. I didn't really get along with my parents, and so it was a good outlet for me, a
I
way to
see.
express myself outside of school, and so it was very useful in that way. That's
Did you
why I
did
liked
you
it.
did you have a chance to sort of perform in public or
Yeah, you know, it's funny because we thought, you know what, we're you know, this is when you're 15 years old, you can't really think too far ahead in
Yeah.
the future. But we thought, you know, we're gonna be popular. You know, people are gonna like this, and we're gonna get big, and you know, maybe we don't have to go to college. Maybe we can just play music for the rest of our lives. But yeah, no. Back to your question. Sorry, we did play. We probably played a show, as we would call it, or like we would play at different venues around different live houses around
Yeah.
in our town.
Oh, cool.
Probably like twice a month.
All right.
We'd sell tickets. I'd go, actually, like we'd make a flyer, and I would go to the top of the stairwell in the
Yeah.
high school, and I would take all these flyers and just throw them down the stairs, just have the flyers, you know. I don't know. It sounds funny to talk about it now, but yeah. So we
Oh,
played
right.
like twice a month for about 3 years.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
used to make money from that then?
I don't know about money, but we did make enough to pay for our CDs that we would record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So no, it wasn't profitable in any way. It was just fun. And you know, I met so many different people from being in a band, so it was really nice. You know, socially, it was really good for, I think, a high school student like myself.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for asking.
Topic 7. Superhero skills.
So, what are some superhero skills that you would like to have?
There's lots of different types of skills out there that have my attention, but I think the most important skill, or the most useful skill for me, would be to clone myself. So there's an anime, Naruto, and coincidentally we're in Japan as well. In Naruto, you're able to clone yourself, and when you clone yourself, you're able to still retain all the knowledge that your clone is doing. For example, I could be here doing an interview, and my clone could be outside swimming and practicing swimming. And then when my clone disappears, I'll still retain all the knowledge I have from swimming, even though I was performing an interview here. And so I think that would be very useful in learning a lot of different types of things. For example, languages, practicing sports, cooking food. and it would be very efficient with my time, and I would be able to complete everything on my schedule.
Multitasking.
So, exactly, multitasking at its finest. So that's definitely a superhero power that I would love to have. And what about yourself? What would you like to do?
I'm not sure. When I was little, I always wanted to be able to fly or breathe underwater because I really wanted to be a mermaid when I was little. But I think now maybe just teleportation would be really nice. I wouldn't have to walk everywhere. I'm a little lazy. I wouldn't have to sit on the plane for like 10 hours when I visit my family in the States. I hate flying. It's just really boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely teleportation, I think.
Okay. That's a very interesting superhero ability to have.
Yeah.
Definitely makes life a lot quicker. You won't have to sit in rush hour either when you're driving home from work.
And I could just teleport to all the different places and countries that I wanted to go to.
That's pretty amazing as well, yeah. So what else? What other types of superhero powers would you have besides teleportation?
Maybe superhuman strength. That would be cool, I think. Just walking around lifting people up and stuff, or lifting up buildings like Superman.
Yeah, like Superman.
Stopping asteroids and yeah. But people would definitely notice that I had superpowers on it. Maybe that's not.
You might want to compete in some strongman or power building competitions.
Yeah, and I would become famous.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be a good career move.
Yeah. But it would be purely talent and not hard work.
Exactly. But I guess you'd have to practice your superhero strength.
I guess.
By picking up different things.
Yeah, and practicing not using too much strength and crushing things.
That's true. Yeah. That's very cool.
And are there any other powers that you would like to have?
The one superhero that's my favorite is Spider-Man. And so I saw all of his movies as a little kid. And so I think having webs coming out of your wrist, being able to fly between skyscrapers, being able to stick people onto walls, fighting crime, that would be really cool. But just mainly for the amusement aspect of flying around, slingshotting different things with your webs, that would be very cool. And a very unique skill to have. So that superpower would be amazing to have,
So he's your favorite superhero?
Yeah, I would say that he's the superhero that I relate to the most. Just recently, Spider-Man High School came out, and so it depicted Peter Parker, Spider-Man, in high school. And so it was a very fun movie, and definitely relates a lot to high school. And it was very fun to watch, and really enjoyed that. So definitely Spider-Man is my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed his movie, and definitely would love to have his web shooting abilities. Yeah.
Topic 8. Hard work versus talent.
Okay, so Viasan, what do you think is the most important, hard work or talent? Or what is more useful?
That's an interesting question because I think they both play a role in whatever task that you're doing. But personally, I think that hard work is more important than talent. And I'll give you a couple examples of why I feel hard work is more important. I think in order to master any skill, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether it's performing well at a task, you need to stay focused on the task at hand. And some people are naturally good at that task. For example, if I'm really quick at typing on a computer, I'll be able to print out multiple spreadsheets, complete a lot of work, and finish my assignments faster. However, I believe to really go above and beyond and master that skill, with that talent, hard work needs to be attributed as well. Without hard work, you might, even if you're good at typing on a computer, you might not want to feel like typing on a computer. You might be lazy, and you just might not want to do that task. But hard work trains you to become good at a task and do it very well, master it, and become efficient with your time. And so that's why I think hard work outweighs talent, because I think there's more dedication in hard work, there's regimen in hard work, And once you've mastered hard work in a specific skill, I think you can master it a lot more easier than someone who's naturally talented at that task.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you pretty much summed it up,
Yeah.
though. But yeah, I agree that hard work is more important than talent. And you could be very talented, but if you don't have the work ethic, then it doesn't really matter. Or especially if we're thinking about getting jobs or yeah. So yeah, hard work definitely.
Is there a task that you've spent a lot of time at and given that hard work to master?
I started playing guitar 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I never played an instrument before. And I'm usually I can be very lazy when learning new things. I get unmotivated very quickly. But one day it was just okay, I have a guitar lying around. I just really want to learn how to play now. And I just put in a lot of work and hours, and now I play the guitar. And I am very proud of myself because I put that work into it. And someone, maybe if I was born with the talent to just play guitar, that would be cool, but I wouldn't have the same satisfaction of putting my mind to it and getting good. Yeah, so I don't know what.
Yeah, well, that's a good example of using hard work and something that you like to do. That's amazing. Yeah. So, do you think there's any exceptions where talent is more important than hard work?
I think so. Maybe especially in the entertainment business. You could put in a lot of hours, but if you want to be really good, a really famous actor or a really famous singer, they'll choose the more talented ones, and often the most talented ones are the ones with the predisposed talent.
Okay.
If that makes sense. No, I don't know what I was going to say.
Yeah, here's an example I have. So one of my interests is basketball, and usually the highest level of basketball is, I would say, the NBA, the National Basketball Association, which is run in America and in Canada. And usually lots of basketball players are very tall.
Right.
For that reason, they're able to have longer limbs. They're able to do a lot more things with the basketball. For example, jump, shoot, run with the basketball, and play the sport at a more higher level than someone who didn't have those natural physical traits. And so I would say that in that case, someone's talented at basketball, would be at a slightly more advantageous position than someone who, for example, myself, I'm 5'6", who puts a lot of hard work into basketball, but just can't beat someone who's 6'4", and just runs extremely quick because they're talented. So that might be one example of where talent, in some cases, beats hard work.
Yeah, and I think the same goes for singing, for example. You could practice singing, but if you're just born with a very beautiful voice, then maybe you're better off performing, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Topic 9. Phone addiction.
Okay, so Jin, we're going to talk about media and technology, phones and music, things like that. So the first one is, how addicted are you to your phone? How long can you go without using your phone?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Because I would say I'm very addicted to my phone, because I keep on checking it every 5 minutes. I feel like without my phone, my head doesn't, my brain stops working, Yeah.
Wow.
So I would say the maximum I can stay without it would be 1 or 2 hours.
You've got to be kidding me.
I mean, if you asked me in the past, yeah, I could stay without it for a while, but nowadays, I don't even own a watch, so that would be my time as well. So I have to keep checking it.
Wow.
What about you?
We are polar opposites. Actually, I am so bad about not using my phone and it's a smartphone. Actually, I have two. I have an Android Galaxy and I have an iPhone. I set them down and forget where they are, and go like days without actually checking them sometimes. And I'll go to work and somebody will be like, "Are you mad at me? I've been trying to reach you and you won't." And I'm like, "No, I'm not mad at you. Why?" And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't even checked my phone in like 2 days." So,
That sounds so crazy to me because I could never go without my phone without 2 days, like for 2 days.
yeah, well, one, there's a couple things. One, it's old school, right? And two, I get all my information on the internet on a PC. So I'm working, so I get everything on the internet, like Facebook, news, stuff like that. The computer, like you said, tells the time. So I actually forget about my phone.
Okay, then I think if I have a PC, then I would also forget my phone.
Right.
Yeah.
But your generation, you're like, it's all in your hand, right?
Yeah, that's right, because it's more convenient.
Have you heard the term second brain?
No.
Yeah, somebody at some teacher conference was saying that phones are students' second brain. So they use it. It's like, you hold it and you have two brains, one in your hand and one in your head.
I would agree.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's weird. So how about music? Like, how addicted are you to music? Do you have to have music playing all the time?
Not all the time, but then I would have to listen to music at least once a day, because, it just refreshes your mind and you can just relieve from your stress through music. But it depends upon what kind of music you have. What about you? Like, do you like listening to music?
No, I do, but I'm not a music aficionado, and I always listen to the same 10 songs. I think a lot of older people, we kind of get in that rut where I listen, honestly, to music. And I'm from the 80s, right? So I'm 48. I'm almost 50. So I love music from the 70s and 80s, and that's all I listen to.
That's understandable. Actually, I also have a lot of old songs, but I just don't listen. It's not like I just keep on listening to those music. I actually keep on adding more music, more songs to it, so that my playlist is is updated every now and then. And I think if you have good music, you will actually be addicted to it. Maybe you don't have good music.
No, the music from the 80s is good. Okay, so what about TV? Do you watch TV every day?
Not so much, because lately I've been so busy at school, so I cannot really, I don't watch much TV. But during weekends, I do like to watch new movies or different series.
What about, are you one of those people that will stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning just watching YouTube videos?
Not YouTube videos, but yes, if I'm addicted to some series, then I would just binge watch and watch them till 5 in the morning.
Yeah, like what shows do you watch?
Shows. Recently, I've been watching Suits. It's a new series, and it's really good. You should try it too.
Okay. Oh, I'll have to check it out. Thanks.
You're welcome, Todd.
Topic 10. Burgers and baseball.
So, I'm here with Chantal, and we both are from the United States, and we both are teachers in Japan. So I thought we would talk a little bit about some of the stereotypes that people might have in other countries, for example, Japan or other countries, about Americans. So first, we're going to talk about hamburgers.
Okay.
Okay, so hamburgers. How often do you actually eat a hamburger?
Hamburgers. I would say it's actually not that often. Although I love hamburgers, I love them very much, but maybe only a couple times a month or so.
Yeah, I agree. I think hamburgers is the one thing that does not meet the stereotype that we don't eat them that often. Like, I never have hamburgers in America.
Okay.
Pretty much never. Like, I'll have them if somebody's barbecuing it, maybe for a picnic or something. Yeah, and if I do eat fast food, it's usually not a hamburger. I eat something else. Like, I eat tacos or burritos, right?
Yeah.
I don't eat hamburgers. So that's one. I think hamburgers don't really match the stereotype myth.
Yeah,
Do you agree?
I agree, especially because I know many of my students here in Japan, they will ask me often what I eat for lunch. And before I respond, because they're playing a joke on me, they'll say like, "Oh, hamburger, hamburger," and
Yeah.
I have to tell them that now I do live in Japan, but in the United States I don't typically eat hamburgers every day.
Yeah.
But that is a lot of what they think. They think that I eat hamburgers regularly, or at least fast food. But their image of fast food is only hamburgers.
So true. And actually, the funny side story to that, or contrary story, would be, sushi. So we both teach in Japan, and I think most people think that you eat sushi all the time in Japan, and it's almost the equivalent of the hamburger. You don't eat it that much.
That is so true.
Right?
So true. I cannot say how true that is.
Or another one, we're talking about stereotypes, would be sumo. So Japanese people are not that into sumo, really, right? But it's an iconic thing.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the point of baseball.
Ah, yes.
So do you actually like baseball?
I do. I love baseball. I do. And I used to go to some games in the United States. In San Francisco, I went to several Giants games growing up. Yeah. So I do enjoy baseball. Do you enjoy baseball?
I do. I have to admit, I played, baseball when I was younger. I loved baseball. But I do think it's not as popular as people think it is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that a lot of people like it, you like it, I like it, but a lot of people could care less about baseball.
Most of the time, I think I hear people say it's a slow sport, it's boring, no one wants to watch it. They're
Right.
much more inclined to watch basketball or football instead of baseball.
So true.